What was your first investment?
My first big investment? I want to say it was Google.
How Shaquille O'Neal became an early Google investor. Can you imagine how much Shaquille O'Neal's net worth increased as Google grew from 100 million to 1.89 trillion? And you won't believe all this became possible because Shaq was coincidentally babysitting the children of the former CEO's kids while he heard randomly about Google. Shaq is a believer in franchising as a real business opportunity. He is heavily involved in the franchise community and even spoke at the 2022 International Franchise Association. His time in professional sports led him to believe in hard work and practicing what he preaches. Mr. O'Neal has a firm business philosophy. He only endorses or buys into products and franchises he knows, and he invests in improving lives. Shaq is also a well-known businessman and has franchised several different businesses recently. He reportedly owns over 40 gyms and 150 car washes, while franchising several fast food chains. He even opened his restaurant called Big Chicken, which has 10 locations across the country. Los Angeles Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal paved the way for himself to become a giant in the financial sector, courtesy of some incredible business deals. One of them was an investment in the global search engine Google. Tell us in the comments, do you think Shaq was always a rich brat? Further in this video, we will figure out on what grounds Shaq invested in Google and how he became the Shaq he is today. Shaq's post-playing career should show current athletes that it's essential to focus on other things besides the sport they play because one day they'll be forced to retire. Many professional athletes fall off the map once they retire from playing their sport of choice. After spending years in the limelight, many of these athletes enjoy the prospect of settling down and living a more normal life. Many people face a problem when they retire. They need to find something else to do to make themselves money. Those multi-million-dollar contracts are no longer coming through the door. And if you maintain similar spending habits without getting paid the same amount, you will run out of money quickly. Shaq realized this throughout his career, which has helped him continue pursuing whatever ventures he wants. You can say he got lucky by investing in a behemoth company like Google, but that's how the cards fall sometimes. It's also not like Shaq has ridden this one investment and done nothing else. Everywhere you turn nowadays, you see Shaq. But without that early initiative to invest in companies, maybe O'Neal isn't as prominent a figure as he is today. Shaq's spiel about his investing in Google shows how important it is for athletes not to get caught up in the sport they are playing because they will eventually have to retire. And once those checks stop, you'll have to find other ways to make money. That's what Shaq has managed to do better than arguably any professional athlete, and it all started with an investment in Google. Shaq was and is still a big fan of the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal shared an investment principle he heard from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, which has inspired his approach ever since. I was at a tech conference in Vegas, and I heard the great Jeff Bezos say, "If you invest in things, it's going to change people's lives. You will get a nice return," he recalled, speaking CNBC's Hadley.
I heard Jeff Bezos say one time when he was talking, he said he makes his investment based on if it's going to change people's lives. And once I started doing that strategy, I think I probably quadrupled what I'm worth now.
The history of Google can be traced back to Stanford University in 1995. While Larry Page was considering attending Stanford for graduate school, Sergey Brin, who was already enrolled there, was asked to give him a tour of the campus. According to some reports, during that initial meeting, they argued over practically everything, yet they had formed a partnership by the next year. They created a search engine that used the links to determine the value of individual web pages on the World Wide Web. They did this work from their dorm rooms. Backrub was chosen as the name for this search engine. Soon after, Backrub was renamed Google. The name was played on the mathematical expression for the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It reflected Larry and Sergey's mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Over the next few years, Google caught the attention of the academic community and Silicon Valley investors. In August 1998, Sun co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim wrote Larry and Sergey a check for $100,000, and Google was officially born. Google was founded back in the late 20th century. The company gradually grew into the world's largest search engine, transforming the increasingly digital internet worldwide. The lesser-known fact was O'Neal invested in the company's Series A in 1999. With an unquestionable sixth sense, the four-time NBA champion placed a $100 million valuation on the table, knowing it would pay off. Naturally, it did. And how? Many years later, Google is a household name for anybody and everybody. It is the one-stop shop for any query in the world. Moreover, Google has a huge value today. According to sources, its current value stands at $1.89 trillion. This means that not only did Shaq's investment work, it will also pay dividends like never before. Currently, Shaq's net worth stands at around $400 million. What's even better? The 49-year-old still owns some shares in the venture. Although it is an unbelievable number, it is true. Shaquille O'Neal has won the lottery and hit the biggest jackpot with his investment in Google. So many years post hanging up his boots, his humongous net worth is a testament to his business prowess. When Shaq appeared as a guest on The Ellen Show some time ago, he shared how he became an investor in Google.
So one time, this was like when I first got to LA, I want to say like 93, 94. So I'm in the Four Seasons Hotel and I'm playing with somebody's kids and they're in the meeting. So I'm playing with the kids at the next table. And the guy, I'm actually babysitting the guy's kids while he's in the meeting. So after the meeting, he says, you know what, you're good with kids. I like you. I'm gonna bring you in on this investment. And it was called Google. He said, in the future, you're gonna be able to type on your phone, search engine this, do this, boom, boom, boom. You should invest. I invested, and then a couple years later, I got a really big return.
Shaq was staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles in the 1990s when he overheard two other people discussing a unique piece of technology. It turned out that they were workers of Google. Shaq was able to acquire pre-IPO shares in the company, and he considers this to be his most successful investment to date. Shaquille O'Neal deserves credit for being attentive to those around him and listening to what they had to say. When he learned about the groundbreaking concept of a search engine, he could have used more time to gain information and put his money on the line. Since then, he has seen a remarkable return on his investment in Google in the form of a gain of 2,800 times more than the initial amount invested. Shaq revealed how this particular investment opportunity crossed his desk in an interview with The Wall Street Journal in October of 2019. According to him, it was just a freaky coincidence and him being at the right place at the right time.
So one day I'm sitting playing at the Beverly Hills Hotel and I hear these two gentlemen talking about Google search engines and one day your phone's gonna be this and you type anything and it comes up, and I was like, say that again? Oh, hey, how you doing, Shaq? Come over here, listen to this. Boom, 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 boom. If I would like to invest in this. My guy hooked it up and we invested, and then I forgot all about it. And then I read the article and everybody else read the article about the big hit that some of the early investors received. When you look at the perfect pictures, it looks like I'm at home saying, do this, do that, do that. It ain't. It's just, being in the right place and time and just, and just opportunities coming.
Shaq has also said that his only investment regret in life was not making a bigger bet on Google. Judging by how the software giants have risen and exploded in the past 2 decades, that is certainly a legitimate one to have. Do you know of any other business ventures of Shaq? Tell us in the comments. Being the franchise is not the only business that Shaquille O'Neal is in. He has reportedly purchased shares in all sorts of brands covering everything from beauty and fashion to fighting. In addition, he has an eye for investing and likes to get in when he sees an opportunity for growth that will improve lives. Shaq will invest in anything that seems lucrative, so long as it is a product he owns and uses, or that he can genuinely improve the quality of life for people. So he also has several Las Vegas nightclubs, a cinema, and a strip mall in his portfolio. Some of the other businesses that Shaq has a hand in include Lyft, JCPenney, Gold Bond, Icy Hot, The General Insurance, Forever 21. As of December 2022, Shaquille O'Neal's net worth is roughly $400 million, making him one of the richest athletes in the world. Nevertheless, his net worth of Shaq is expected to rise up to $450 million by the end of 2023. There is no question that taking calculated risk in the appropriate environment and at the right time may give your life a dramatic makeover in ways you could never have imagined. Now that we have heard everything, folks, what do you think? If you were Shaq, would you have invested in Google at around that time?